back, guys. Today I'm in the heart of Rhode Island. This is the Big River Management Area located in West Greenwich, not too far away from the Rhode Island desert. This place has over 8,000 acres of woods, and it's one of the biggest parks in Rhode Island. This place used to be on the agenda to be turned into a reservoir in the 1960s. But apparently the town and the state, I guess, even stepped in and stopped the development and left it as a wildlife refuge. People did used to live in these woods before the reservoir project, and they actually made them evacuate their homes. So we may see remnants of their homes, things like pools, foundations. I've never been here before, so I hope that you enjoyed the video and explore with me. Let's come and see what's in there. So right behind me is Nooseneck Hill Road. This is the main parking lot for the park. There are other parking lots though that you can start at as well. One of them is the Rhode Island Desert, which was featured in an earlier BRENT video. That's a little bit further east that way. The other one is going to be across the road on the opposite side of this place, and that's for Carr Pond, which is a very beautiful and famous pond in the park. That may be a little bit too much to film in one video. I might still film it and break it into two, but either way, you guys will see that on this channel eventually. Today we're going to focus on this area. This is called the Burnt Sawmill Road. This was the old road before the reservoir project in the 60s that actually was a drivable road, and this would take people to their homes that they used to live in the woods out here. From what I was reading, the plan was this was a town, or part of East Greenwich, or West Greenwich rather, and in the 60s developers, I don't know if it was the state of Rhode Island, they wanted to come in here and turn this place into a new reservoir, and the project looked like it was going to go through. People had to leave their homes and everything behind, and this place was going to turn into like another Scituate reservoir. But I think environmentalists and maybe even the town itself stepped in and prevented the project from happening. The town is still a ghost town, but it's now a hiking, and I'm sure you can bike in here as well, trail. And this will allow you to be able to see what an untouched area was like for about 60 years basically. And you get to see how nature took it back. So let's go check it out. All right, so we're gonna walk down this Burnt Sawmill Road, or whatever it's called. And actually the road's not in that bad condition, so definitely they would drive here to get home. You can see some potholes, but they probably were always there. Doesn't look too much different from a modern road. So the plan will be to just explore this whole area. I've never been here before, and I'm not really quite sure what to expect or see. So I just want to walk down and find out what kind of sights. Hopefully we can find some evidence of the old town, like the pool, foundations. I was hearing rumors there was like some old like rehab facility in these woods too. It was like a whole part of the town that ended up getting evacuated just to build a reservoir that never became. But now we got these beautiful trails to hike. So this part of the road's starting to look a little bit busted up and return to nature. I'm curious to see if this road will end up leading to, if you'll be able to see like offshoots of where people's driveways and things were. Not sure where the town started, but it's been abandoned since the 60s, so that's the story. Alright, so I'm coming like to like a little fork in the road or something interesting. This right here, I wonder what this was. Let's go check this out in here. Okay, I'm already seeing some evidence of like wood or homes. That's interesting. Let me see if this may have been somebody's yard or driveway at one point. Where does it go? So So it's gonna get really bushy, and I'm sure it's full of ticks right there, but you can see how open it is. This could have been the property of somebody's home right here, and how it comes right off of the trail. I'm sure if we keep walking further in, we're gonna find more preserved structures. But this was something right here, all the wood. And there's a stone wall. This could have also been somebody's property. I'm gonna keep going straight this way because I've never been here before and I don't really know quite where I'm going. I'd rather not get turned around like yesterday. I went to, where was that? Tillinghast Pond. And yeah, I got turned around and a little lost over there because the trails looked all the same. And I was losing cell phone service, so that was a little crazy. There is a pond over here. This might be the big river. Let's go see. So this is beautiful right here. Let's see what pond this is. I'll take a look at the map right now. This is Capwell Mill Pond. So this might be a man-made pond, maybe to feed nearby mills at some time. Can you see a waterfall over here maybe? I can hear one. Look at that. Oh, backpack just got caught in a branch. I can hear a waterfall. I want to go see it. It's getting bushy in here. Oh, this is well worth it. Hell yeah. Wow. Let me try something out. So that Capwell Mill Pond was pretty cool. That was the first, I guess you could say, abandoned structure that we found from the old town. Besides maybe that foundation of the home. I'm pretty happy with that. That was a nice view. Got some good scenery. So let's take a left turn here. We're gonna go back to the road and we're gonna keep taking a look and see if we can find any more homes or any kind of building from the old town that used to be here. That's pretty cool right there. We got a gate. I don't know what that signifies. We'll get a different view of the waterfall over here. Look at that. That's pretty cool. All right, so behind me looks like we got a gate. I don't know what this was for. This might have separated a part of the town or someone's property even. You can tell this was still an old car bridge because how the concrete or tar, whatever you want to call it, asphalt, This gives you another view of the area. This is the famous view that I saw on Google Maps. So we just stood on that side. Let's try to go up this way. There's a way up here. Oh wow, yep, you got a good view of the pond. Nice. We even put a little bridge over here. I'm assuming there must have been one that way too, but it rotted. It still seems pretty stable. Alright, so let's get away from the pond, and I want to keep walking down the woods and see if we can find any more abandoned structures. But that was really cool. I wonder how long ago that was built. And it's really cool to see how they knew all the ways the water had to flow. I guess they're thinking about removing the dam, it looks like, according to that picture, because it's going to help the natural fish wildlife return. Then where's the water going to go? I don't know. Maybe on these roads and they'll get flooded and they got to make a new path. Well, let's keep going until we find something interesting. I'm sure there's going to be more soon. So the trail so far seems relatively flat. All Trails does not have this whole trail system mapped out. It has the car pond side, which is on the other side that's mapped out. And then it has the initial Nooseneck Hill Road parking lot mapped out. But those go on a different direction, those trails. I'm going like right into the heart of the park, which it doesn't really seem very well mapped or like named. So that's where I'm wondering if all the juicy stuff is, you know? Kind of like the no-go zone. So I'm just going to keep following this old road until I can get right in the middle of Big River Management Area and see what awaits me. It's going to be an adventure. So you can see, I mean, the road starts to get a little more busted up as you go deeper into the woods. I mean, this road probably had not been maintained since the 60s. And you can just see how all the asphalt, there's a squirrel in there, geez. All the asphalt kind of just breaks down into grades unless it's constantly maintained. And it gets covered in sand and pine needles. So yeah, the deeper you go, the less of a road it looks like and the more of a hiking trail now. Alright, I wonder what this was. This might have been somebody else's property. Another house. I can imagine driving up this kind of a driveway and seeing if you can find something. If it doesn't like start showing signs of a structure, I'm just going to turn around and get back on that road. So let's see. Okay. Yeah, this must have been someone's home. Yep. See how it's all open like this? This could have been foundation of a home at one point. Oh, let's keep going. I want to see if there's anything like really interesting deep in these woods. Do some true urban exploration. Look how the pine branches are growing out, new leaf growth. Today's my kind of weather. It's 90 degrees. It's sunny, it's warm. Getting a little foggy though because of the Canadian wildfire winds are starting to blow this way, so this weekend's going to be foggy right here. But right now, it's comfortable for me. There's a little more concrete from the road of the lands past. Looks like we got some crossroads here. One. Please advise that a timber harvesting operation is taking place in this area. Huh. I don't know which way to go. I'm just gonna keep going straight, I think. The first time I go to a place, I usually like to stay on just the main trail and kind of scope it out and see what it looks like. And then the second time I'll splinter off and do all these other side trails. That's how I discovered so much of Lincoln Woods. When I first started going, I would just do the main loop, and then I kind of ventured off into the northern entrance of the park, the one that's a little bit more abandoned, less traffic. I explored the trails behind there, and I learned that there was way more to the park than just the loop. Eventually I was able to explore pretty much everything, but that place never ceases to surprise me. There's always new stuff. This place I think is going to end up being just like that. So starting with this main loop, see where it takes me. If I see some cool stuff on the side of the trails, I will go check it out. But I think the next time I come back here, I'll get a little bit more in depth. It's wooded. And just because these trails are flat, that doesn't make them easy. I mean, these can go for miles and miles. Like I was reading, it said it had over 8,000 acres of forest. So that's like 4 times as much as Buck Hills. So, and Buck Hill is a massive place. Things are starting to get weird when you get so deep and you can't see the parking lot anymore. Is that a snake? What was that? Oh, little frog. Or toad, rather. Okay, so we have a cemetery in here. Historical Cemetery, West Greenwich 27. Let's go check this place out and see who's here. Oh. Okay. Can you see some names? Whitford. Yep, Whitford. I'm not sure what the Whitford family had to do with West Greenwich. If anybody knows in the comments, just let me know. But these are from the mid-1800s, so just around the time of the Civil War, it looks like. Or a little bit after. Cool. Got some of these unmarked ones, or the text has been too faded away really to read. Alright, let's continue on. Look at these mushrooms. What the hell is this? Oh, these are flowers. They looked like for a second they're like Venus flytraps. Okay. Oh, backpack keeps getting caught. Alright, let's get further into these woods. I know there's more left to see. So check this out right here. This looks like it was an old gate. So I don't know if we're going to be walking on somebody else's property now or their abandoned property. But yeah, you can tell this separated something, some kind of property line. It's all part of the park now, so let's walk in and see what we can find in here. this is a little creepy right here. It's like an old metal object. Oh, an old metal pan. There's a shovel. Oh, a pitchfork. Could this have been somebody's old property here, actually? Yeah, look at all this. Wow. Okay, so these are remnants of an old home, I think, as well. It looks like somebody could have stored their farming tools here or something. You can even see an old shoe. Wow, there's a lot out here. Old jars. So these had to be had from the 60s. Yeah, look at that. That's like an old tea kettle or something. So I know the place was evacuated, or they made them leave in the 60s. Hair comb. I'm not sure if the homes are just straight up demolished and these are just whatever the hell was left. There's a lot of stuff here. What is this? Oh, it's like an old broken bottle. That's interesting, that pottery. Look at all these ruins and just abandoned stuff that's left behind. These were people's things at one point. I don't know what that was. Alright, well, I say let's keep going because this might only be the beginning of what we could find as we keep going deeper. But that's pretty cool. All these left behind items. Lost to time. So right now I'm pretty much just winging it as far as going on these trails. I'm just staying on the main center path and seeing how deep in the woods this brings me. If I see anything cool on either side, like, you know, we found that little abandoned ruin spot, I'll go take a look at it. But because I'm not familiar with these woods, I kind of want to just see what the main place has to offer before venturing any deeper. I could look at the map, but I would rather just stay focused on what's around me, especially because I'm the only one out here, and these are deep woods. So let's just see where we end up and what we can find. If I do end up missing anything important on this side of the Big River Management Area, Nooseneck Hill, then please put it in the comments so we can come back for the second video and check it out. I'm also willing to collab with anybody who knows these woods a bit better. Another part of this park, as I said earlier, is called Carr Pond. That's on the opposite side. I may not have time to do that today just because this loop alone will be a long hiking trail. But we can always do that in a follow-up video. So yeah, I'm just still walking down this road right here. Haven't seen much else besides these really dense woods with these huge pine trees. And we'll keep walking. As soon as I find something else interesting or a mysterious man-made object, we'll pick back up. So check this out, guys. Look at this little rock pile here. This does not look natural. This could be a couple things. This most likely could just be an old fire pit that somebody had when the town was enforced. This could maybe be a little remnant of an old and now taken apart stone wall, or this could be a Native American ritual site. They used to do things like this where they would pile up small rocks on top of a larger one. So if anybody has an idea of what that is, let me know. We're going to keep going now this way. The asphalt at this part of the road has now been like completely disintegrated. Maybe just like small chunks remain. Alright, welcome back from these very buggy trails at Big River Management Area. So what I'm reading about online is we're going to be walking towards a place called Hell's Half Acre. This is at the end of this trail I'm taking now. So we're going to do an out and back to get back to the car. Hell's Half Acre apparently is a famous spot because in the 1800s or the 19th century, it became kind of known as this lawless saloon, Wild West type area in this area of West Greenwich. It was very desolated back then, so people can get away with things like prostitution, heavy drinking, gambling, all the stuff that was illegal back then. Basically, it had, I guess, like a little like tavern. There was a well, supposedly a pool too even. And what happened was after a lot of strange disappearances and fights and violence that would break out, the state eventually stepped in the early 1900s and made it part of this not management area, but protected land, they called it back then. And they basically booted everybody out, and I think that the structures have burned down or are just demolished, but apparently you can still see the remnants of the old well somewhere, which we'll look for, and then we'll see if we can find the abandoned pool. I'm not sure if it's in Hell's Half Acre or if it's somewhere else in this park, but we'll find something. I also did bring the metal detector, so maybe we can even see if we can find some little artifacts or remnants of the tavern. So let's keep walking until we get there. That could be the nice ending or climax to this amazing hike. So we're still walking down this sandy trail. We're almost near the Devil's Half Acre or Hell's Half Acre, whatever the hell it's called. I'm supposed to take a left turn somewhere over here. Sorry, my mouth is dry and I'm getting tired. Let me see if this is the left turn I gotta take on the map. Hang on. Alright, so I just looked at the map. I gotta basically just follow this road, which is called Burnt Sawmill Road, all the way down to the end of the park, and then take a left. And if I just keep going straight down that trail, I should eventually end up at the Hell's Half Acre ruins. I'm excited to see what we can find, and who knows, maybe there might be something really cool over there. So now it looks like that any remaining cement has been busted up, and this road is no longer a regular drivable road. This looks much more like just a hiking road. There's some pretty cool looking rocks. Let's keep walking and we'll get to that left turn to hopefully make it to the area soon. Look at that stone wall. There's one over here too, in the woods. So this was people's property for a long time. Looks like we're coming on some kind of a clearing over there beyond the stone wall. Maybe that could have been some old farm property. I'm sure we can get a better look as we continue. Let me see if we can see what that is out there. Wow. Definitely some kind of a clearing. I'm assuming there was probably some old farmland. Here's something interesting. Looks like it could have at one time been an old trail marker or a map. Not sure how much further away we are from the Hell's Half Acre site. There's supposed to be a crossroads at the end that we take a left on, and we're just going to stay straight that way. So this is going to be a nice big hike. Some more big clearings. These meadows. I wouldn't want to walk in there though with the risk of ticks and chiggers. But that would not be fun. The trail is starting to get like rocky and stony now. This is interesting. I don't know if this is the degradation from the original cement or tar or asphalt that used to be here, or if these are just rocky roads. But I'm determined to find this place and see what could be left behind, so I'm just going to keep walking. Walking to the end. Look at all those ferns. It's so wild how tall they get. They look really like something from some kind of a temperate rainforest. Over here looks like we got some mugwort plant. This is related to wormwood. I do believe this plant may have the chemical thujune in it, which is the active ingredient in the herb wormwood that they use to make absinthe. And it's a psychedelic or hallucinogen. It has that licorice kind of smell. It's nice, but people actually smoke this or they brew it in a tea. This is not as powerful as wormwood though. They're cousins, I guess. Cool. I can hear a waterfall up ahead. Look at this. A lot of mosquitoes over there. The waterfall's obscured by the trees over there, but it's over there. Alright, so here's that fork in the road as explained. Left should bring me, or according to the map, will bring me to the Hell's Half Acre. I'm assuming they would call it Hell's Half Acre because it was like a sin city, probably like Rhode Island's Las Vegas at the time or something. This trail is starting to get a little bit more of a hike-like, no longer flat. Looks like it's increasing in some elevation. Get some nice wildflowers. This is cool, guys. The rhododendron blooms. The Long Pond Woods Trail that was recently filmed, they weren't fully in bloom and it looks like they're coming out now. That's really cool. That's what they look like. So that was cool. Got to see some flowers and nice trails, and as we continue up, looks like we're actually getting a little bit of elevation. The hiking in southern Rhode Island, where I'm at right now, is different from northern Rhode Island. I've noticed southern Rhode Island is it's hilly. There's a lot of ups and downs, but the vegetation looks a little bit different, like a little bit more, I guess, like green and deciduous and weedy. Like a lot of these weeds grow. So the northern Rhode Island hikes like Diamond Hill, any Smithfield hike like Wolf Hill, Buck Hill, and Barrowville, those are mostly like big pine forests. And yeah, it's just like one big hill instead of all these like ups and downs. So there's a difference in the way the landscape is. Overall, this part of the state is flatter and lower than the northwestern part of the state. And if you want to see what I mean by flatter and lower, I will have a video, or a map rather, right here. Topographical, I believe that's how it's pronounced. but you can see the difference in elevation in the northwestern Rhode Island area where Jeremith Hill and Buck Hill is versus the southern Rhode Island starting around the, you know, West Warwick, Exeter area. It really flattens out, then you get to the coast. So check this out, on the way to searching for Hell's Half Acre still, it's a huge dip in the woods right here, and it goes to a big incline. Wow, let's hike up this thing. Toad, what's up, brother? Okay. Oh man, which way now? So confusing. Alright, looks like I gotta stay this way to the left. Alright, so we're not quite at the site yet, but I was told by the map to not take this right. I gotta take the next one. And then I think we're gonna end up at the street, and the actual site of the tavern and everything may have been across the street. So let's go take a look. I'm just gonna follow what the map says. I've also heard there's really not much left of the original site except for the well that was on the area. But let's just see what we got. Oh, I guess those went to the same place. Whatever. So it's looking at this point, I just have to go straight to the road. So I shouldn't have any more turns to take. The difficult part of this hike is going to be going back now, because it was a little tough to follow this road all the way to the end. And now I gotta figure out the best way to get back and get back on that main trail. So it's a big hike today. You can really see how it's 8,000 acres, and this is only like half of the park. Alright guys, we're finally coming out of that long trail and getting out into the street. This is kind of a relief because those woods were getting buggy. Alright, so according to this map, I need to go down this way to the Hell's Half Acre site, and it should actually be on this side of the road. So when that car passes, we'll cross. But yeah, I'll keep this map open and handy, and we'll see if we can find the site. I'm already seeing a stone wall over here, so there's definitely some kind of a boundary marker to a site. So according to Google Maps, this is supposed to be the site of the Hell's Half Acre. I don't see anything, but let's take a look at the middle island over here. See if there's anything worth checking out. Okay, there's like a little stone wall thing right here. I thought I saw something in the woods in the back. So we'll go check that out as soon as I figure out where this guy's going. Alright, so there is some kind of a structure or a foundation of a structure in there. And I saw like a little path. Maybe this is going to be it. I was hoping to try the metal detector out around here, but if there's no site remaining, then I can't really find anything. Let's go through these pines. Nope, that's a dead end. I do see some stone wall type things in there though. There's supposed to be just like a well or something left. I'll go check out what that depression in the ground is. I'll have to walk through some poison ivy to get there though. Let's see. Okay, yes, there is something here. Oh, alright, so this is it. This is the Hell's Half Acre. Finally found it. And alright, let's see if we can actually find any artifacts from the 1800s in here while I'm here, right? Alright guys, so basically we're going to do a little brief metal detecting in here. It's really buggy, so I don't want to stay here too long. But we're going to check out and see if there's anything interesting we can find in the sands over here in this abandoned tavern. This probably is just the cellar, to be honest. I'm sure the whole tavern was built up above this. But already I see this old door hinge, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to turn the metal detector on and let's see what we can find. So there's metal everywhere. Like, that's metal. That must be part of the floor, maybe? That's metal. That's metal. I can only imagine what's under the dirt. I did bring a shovel, but I don't know how intense I want to get today. We'll see. Somebody dug over here, and there's that frog guy again. That's metal. Look at all the glass there. These could be from the original. Oh, look at all the mosquitoes in there. Jeez. Someone was eating shellfish in here. This is some pottery. That's metal. This is some kind of a door hinge. That's an old school looking door hinge too. That's something metal. Yep, there's a lot of just like leftover. Looks like these could have been metal buckets or something. This thing has metal in it, whatever it is. So yeah, I mean, these old bottles, I feel, it's gonna be metal everywhere here. Oh shit, it's raining. All right, so I feel that these old bottles have to be like old from the original tavern. What's this one say? It actually has words on it. Old Quaker. Wow, he looks like a Quaker, that's right. I'm sure this was whiskey. Ah, my belt. Here's some more. Does this one have words on it? Federal law forbids sale. This could be a old opium bottle, actually. That's metal. It's like an old door handle, it looks like. There's some springs. That could have been a bed. Wow. Alright, well, I mean, I'm not really finding anything of like value or significance. The coolest thing was probably the old Quaker bottle. But it's always good to leave things where you found them, unless whatever you find is something that you really have value for. Although, make sure you respect the laws. If it's not your property, even if it's a public park, they usually don't let you take anything, so just keep that in mind. This could have been an old nip. All right, well, I think that may be the end of this little metal search. There's something here. All right, guys, so we hiked from the parking lot on Nooseneck Hill Road of Big River Management Area all the way down to the other side of this first half of the park, and we hit mosquitoes, damn, and we hit this place, the Hell's Half Acre. So this used to be the old tavern. You can imagine who used to come here to get drinks in the 1800s and do who knows what. But I'm gonna end the video here because I'm gonna hike back, and I really should focus on where I'm going. Those trails were kind of easy to get lost in towards the end. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this investigation of this abandoned building, and there's gonna be a lot more to come. We are also going to film an upcoming follow-up Cars Pond, which is on the other side of this Big River Management area. So don't forget to like and subscribe, stay tuned, and I appreciate all you guys. Thanks for watching.